going back over the game, I know it's been a few days, but, offensively, situational football, into half, into game, really good. I mean, came away with points and left no time for them to respond. The touchdown right before halftime and then the field goal at the end to seal it. Our red zone, we were really good, 3 of 4, and the one we didn't convert was because we were in field goal range for the win at the end. There's things we got to do a little bit better. We turned the ball over. Run game wasn't real good. Our efficiency wasn't good. Didn't have the explosives that we feel like we need to have in any given week. And short yardage wasn't good. Third and fourth and short. Had too many MAs too. So it wasn't real clean offensively. We made the plays we needed to, but there's things that we can clean up. That being said, Tim Patrick obviously played outstanding. That was his best game with us. And so many things he did. Everybody sees the touchdowns, but there was a number of blocks that he made in that game that were huge. So guys playing at a high level. Goff, I thought, was outstanding. Take away the turnover, and, he played lights out, and he was clutch for us. Once again, critical moments just comes through, playing at a high level. It was impressive. Laporta came through, big plays. Skip did a hell of a job, filling in for Deck. Thought that was one of his best games of the season. So defensively, look, we talked about the focus was playing hard and finishing. Man, just lay it on the line, play hard on all 3 levels. We had about, 3-4 new guys just stepped in, and a number of guys we were going to rely on. They did that. We got a takeaway, which was crucial. That led to 3 points. Third down, we were 1 of 5. That's outstanding. And we were really sticky in coverage. There's a couple of things that got us in coverage, but overall, our man-to-man coverage was really good, man. We were all over those guys. What we didn't do well, run game efficiency. Gave up too many per carry. Pass efficiency there as well. And red zone, Now got put in a couple of hard spots, the turnover and downs. So that doesn't make it easy on them. But that being said, O'Connor played outstanding game. We asked a lot of him. Most plays he's played, and he was disruptive, and he really played the nose and the big end. So he's got a lot of versatility, and he showed up for us. Zadarius Smith, was highly productive, in the run and pass game, but really showed up in a big way. And then Zeke Turner, he had to play the will linebacker for us for a number of plays. He did well, and then Arnold. I thought that was Arnold's best game of the season. So that was good to see. And then special teams, really, we only had a couple of punts. One of them was 50 yards, and they had a holding call because of Dorsey once again. Dorsey either makes the play or he's going to cause a penalty. So it ends up being a 60-yard net, and then 2 plays later we get the turnover. So just massive, hell of a punt, hell of a job by Dorsey once again. The guy's he's a weapon for us on teams. And then our field goal protection unit, those guys had blocked one, Chicago for the game winner 3 weeks ago. Our guys, held in there, and I thought we there's things to clean up, but we protected really well. So that was kind of it in a nutshell. It's a good win for us, and now we're on to the next one.
Speaking of the next one, just the task ahead, specifically with Josh Allen and MVP Canada. You look at the game Sunday, 3 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns, just his dual threat and how challenging that is to prepare for, because he's a big physical kind of guy, which is a little bit different.
He is challenging, and I haven't had a chance to truly deep dive them yet, but I do know this: he's taking care of the football. He's taking the plays that are there. And once he progresses, it's not, then he uses his legs. So I feel a more patient player out of him, and because of that, he's playing at a very high level, and that makes him even more dangerous. So it is. He's got a big-time arm. He's accurate. He can read defenses, and then he's got the physical ability to take off and run, and he can run over people. He can run around you. He can get on the perimeter. So this is going to be a huge task for us. This is not going to be easy.
How much healthier do you expect to be coming back this week in the areas?
I don't know. I know this. Every one of our guys, it's much more positive. You know, everybody is healing up, and so we're better than we were last week. I don't know yet how many we'll get back, and honestly, I may not know until Thursday of this week. You know, just exactly where we're at. You know, I'm feeling better about Decker, but yet I need to see. You know, and then the D line is in flux. You know, there's a chance Levi could be back. You know, Max got a pass protocol. He's in and everything. He did not take a step back. So as long as he can clear, you know, that sounds positive. But it's just going to take time to figure some of this out.
Kind of longer term, but Aidan, we're about 2 months out from his injury. How much more optimistic are you that he can come back at the end of the season?
Man, honestly, I'm where I was when the injury happened, and that's only just saying Look, this is a tough injury. I mean, it is. But I just would never count him out, just knowing who he is. And he's working. He is progressing. But I can't give you a timeline. And I don't know. I don't know if he'll have the time to get there. But if anybody could, it's him.
Clarity on any of your IR guys in terms of their ability to return. I know Jalen, I think, is in his window where he could. And then Enzo, Rakestraw, if he or maybe next week, you know, any of those guys are maybe going to be able to return to practice here soon?
Yeah, I mean, we'll have that conversation about Rakestraw and Iffy next week, you know, because that'll be through their 4-week period. You know, Alex, we feel like is on pace towards the end of this season. You know, it could be the last game. It may not be till the playoffs, but we feel good about getting him back. I think Khalif's probably in that boat. You know, probably where Alex is at. And then, you know, Jalen, he's better. Jalen Reeves-Maven is better. But it's just slow going right now. So I don't really know where he could be, or, you know, there is a chance we get him in a few weeks. There's a chance we don't. So it's just kind of, you know, it's just where we're at.
Last week you put it on the offense, you know, understanding where you were with the defense, not knowing how much health you're going to get on the defense side. Is it sustainable, realistic to keep putting it on the offense the way you had to and going forward with just being, you know,
you know, I think every week you got to do what you feel like gives you the best chance to win, you know, and where do you feel your best matchups are at, and where are your best players at, and so, man, I haven't had a chance to just deep dive Buffalo yet and see where they're at. They've traditionally are a very good defense. They fly around. They play sound, disciplined football. They always have. That's how Coach McDermott coaches. And so, you know, we'll just have to see. But we'll do whatever it takes to win the game. I mean, we'll, you know, whatever we need to. Now, that being said, you know, like I said, we put ourselves in some of the situations we were in offensively. There's things we can do so much better, and just clean up a few things. And then defensively, you know, hey, it was okay. We got some new guys. Just give us everything you got and finish. That's the stipulation. Okay, well, so now we need to take it a step further. Okay, now that we're, you know, you guys are laying it on the line, you're finishing now, we got to start getting a grasp of what we're doing defensively and take the next step into, you know, the detail part of this, and to where we don't have a few plays that hurt us. So, you know, look, our defense will, depending on who we have here, we're going to be better than we were last week. I believe that, you know, and whether we don't get anybody back or not, this will be another week in the system with, you know, Adams and Miles Adams and Jonah and Quan, and, you know, and so I know that, you know, they'll be better, but we'll do whatever we have to win the game.
Off the top, Terrion playing maybe his best game. What is it about him turning the corner, just having more experience that he's, you know, starting to...
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just we're getting to that time of the year, and honestly, what happens with a lot of rookies, especially guys you're counting on, unfortunately, some of them start to take a nosedive because, you know, this is where their season begins to dip down. It's over. But then the other ones who hang in there, man, they really start taking flats. What St. Brown did his rookie year, right? He started to take off once we hit November, December. He started to gain strength. Sewell did the same thing. Mac did the same thing, and I feel like that's where Arnold's at. He's starting to push through this, and he's gaining enough valuable reps, experience. He's not letting the grind of the season weigh him down, and he's getting better.
Won a game yesterday. You guys are playing these high-leverage games with your NFC North opponents. I guess, is there a benefit to playing these games against teams that have very few losses? And have you ever really seen anything like this where it's just 3 teams this good in the same division?
It's hard to say. I don't know if maybe not quite like this. I mean, I think is there a benefit? Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a benefit. I mean, I mentioned this last week. I feel like we are in playoff football in a sense. And, I know that we got in, but this is about more than that. We've given ourselves an opportunity postseason, which is great, man. It's all you need. And so we've got that. But, man, anytime you play, the best of the best competition, you can't help but get better. And whatever it takes to win those games, you learn how to win those games. You learn a new way to win. Like we had to grind some things out the other day, we had to win that game without our run game really being effective at all for the most part. That's huge. That meant our pass protection had to be on point. Goff was outstanding. The receivers, the tight ends, the backs, protection. I mean, David and Gibbs having to mount up in there. We got a lot of A-gap pressure, and those guys were, that's not an easy way to live if you're the runners. So that serves you well. Like I think so. The competition is great. There again, Green Bay, and then we got Buffalo this week. We got more coming down the wire. So these serve you well, I believe.
Liam went down just because of the workload he normally plays. You had to expand some workloads with some of those other guys. You mentioned Pat's performance off the bat, but Broderick, Miles, and Jonah Williams, I imagine, played a little bit more than you expected. Did you learn anything take away from the film from those 3 guys?
I thought Miles and Jonah, I thought both had winning performances. I thought for what we asked them to do, I thought they went in there and battled and did their job. It was good to see, and it's exactly why Brad brought those guys in, because we felt like they fit what we're about and what we need. And we just need guys that are lunch pail guys, hard hat, come in and give us a good day's work, do what we ask you to do and go all out doing it, and just battle, man, just strain. And I thought those guys did it. Broderick was up and down. He'd have a couple that were good, and then he'd have some that weren't so good. So, but that's all part of the growth process, development process. But I was impressed with those 2 new guys we had.
I know you were wanted to be aggressive offensively going into the Green Bay game, but when you saw the running game kind of get stuck a little bit and the lack of explosives, did that make you want to double down more on using all 4 downs at various points through the game?
Yeah, I think that, normally what we feel like we can get out of our run game is explosives, which we didn't really get those. But we were able to grind some of these out, and I felt like our short yardage plan was good. We liked what we had. We liked where we were going with it, so I had a lot of confidence there. And as well as the pass game, if it was a little bit outside of that range to run the ball, it's going to be awfully hard for me to not have confidence in Jared Goff and our receivers, and really the whole offense, that O-line, what Ben's going to call. It's just I have a tremendous amount of faith, and I wouldn't do it if I didn't believe we could get it, and they continue to prove us right, everybody right. He just wanted to know, what are we doing? Like, let's go. Are we going or are we not going? Which I'm with him. I mean, I'd want to know. So, all right.
Thank you, Dan.